What is the status of tax cooperation within the BRICS, and what are the global challenges the group is addressing? All this and more from the Commissioner of the Federal Tax Service of Russia, Daniil Egorov. Daniil Vyacheslavovic, welcome. Good day to you. What is the current status of BRICS tax cooperation? In fact, this tax cooperation started way back in 2013. Last year, when South Africa was the host, we agreed to strengthen the cooperation and instead of annual meetings, create a broader tax administrations forum. To do that, we needed to sign the BRICS Heads of Tax Authorities Governance Framework, and this we have just done. Another important point is that earlier this year, the BRICS family became, let's put it like this, an extended family. Countries like Egypt, Ethiopia, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia joined the group, which is now a very diverse set of cultures. This is what makes us very special. We are together not because we happen to share a territory or a language or anything like this. It may sound strange, but what we share is an attitude of diversity. We are so different, and we need to keep moving operationally while exploring ways of communicating and working together. This is exactly why we do not stand for unanimity everywhere and on every issue. We are free to choose issues of interest. On such issues that are important to us, we create working groups and choose the appropriate ways of moving forward. So it's not just about tax commissioners meeting once a year. Our colleagues, our experts work together throughout the year. Countries and policies may differ, but surely technological issues are the same for everyone. In this regard, the FTS of Russia is a clear leader. There are not many tax services as advanced as yours. How is the cooperation going in this dimension? Considering what is on the table, you just cannot take off the table how rapidly our economies have been developing their general cooperation. We have to be part of this broader agenda. As we provide underlying services, our first contribution is client centricity. Interestingly, many other BRICS tax administrations also raise and consider this issue. Our second contribution is technology as a powerful enabler of performance. This is part of the agenda for all BRICS tax administrations. Some countries naturally have specific interests and some development opportunities. For example, younger tax administrations may actually be in a position to move faster because they do not have to change the ways they work. They can cut this like out of whole cloth of all the proven best practices. And we are a very important part of this. One of our working groups is specialized in the modernization of the value-added tax. Our VAT practices are interesting to many tax administrations because the FTS of Russia is clearly one of the best VAT administrators in the world, thanks to the underlying technology that makes both the administrator and, most importantly, the taxpayer comfortable with the VAT. Does any data sharing exist today? There is no short answer. The classic tax data sharing mechanism is exchange under double taxation agreements. In this domain, we have total mutual understanding and consistently expand the scope of the data exchange. There are basically three aspects to this. First and foremost is avoiding double taxation, making sure it just doesn't happen. Double taxation is an infringement on the rights of people and companies, a roadblock between people and an obstacle to business development. The second story is avoiding double non-taxation. This is wrong too. This requires appropriate administrative attention, and we have certain advanced practices in this regard. We can adapt them to make sure all countries are comfortable and satisfied. And the third way of information sharing, it's something new. I would say it is for the first time ever that we collect feedback from our taxpayers, companies operating in foreign markets, including BRICS markets, on issues they may be facing on the tax front, specific to the countries they do business in. This is a novel and quite interesting practice, and what I think it does, it proves that to us, being client-centric is much more than just a slogan. We really care. Issues may arise here and there, and when we, taxmen, chip in and discuss them speaking in one language all tax administrators understand, we may be in a position to find the solution quicker because there is a clear interest in doing so. And I want to make it clear that this interest is not just on our side. We are going to have a specific conversation with our Chinese colleagues on such matters. What we, the two tax administrations, can do to make taxation in a broader sense and administration of specific matters more convenient and efficient for our peoples. BRICS issues aside, there are surely matters that need attention at a global level. What you and your counterparts intend to do to address those challenges? My understanding is that the philosophy behind BRICS, I have said already that it is mainly about staying diverse and keeping all options on the table, enables us to avoid this block mindset, like we are together just because we are against someone else, but focus instead on multiplying opportunity for everyone. This is a case study in a new culture of international conversation, showing and sharing not just one another. We can do it with anyone. Opportunities that bring value to countries and peoples. This is what is important. It is a benign way of working together, without all this circle the wagons, hold the line, and act like there are no good guys outside rhetoric. Our model is it's fundamentally different. It's like, let's explore our differences, let's think how we adapt to this to create space for development. The ways we are trying to find to create this space, they can go anywhere. For example, we are aware that for this shared development to happen, we should start working not at the state level, but at the people level, our employees first and foremost. One of our BRICS work streams is fully dedicated to what we do about our talent pool. If we are serious about making sure our functions are convenient to the people and create value, we need to start with our own people. Expecting from an unhappy civil servant that they will make a client happy is just magical thinking. On this, all countries agree. We need to open up more opportunities to our employees. We need to broaden their horizontal communication. We do not want cross-jurisdictional conversation to necessarily go through the commissioners. We want our teams to talk horizontally, to offer a joint menu of HR practices everyone could have a taste of. In this regard, what we say to other tax administrations is, look, we don't impose anything. We do not say, hey, we have all voted for this and now this is the only way forward. We say, here is a diverse set of what's possible. Let's try this, that, and the other, see what fits. This is why, where we are in fact different, we see opportunities rather than limitations. You mean others would be better served if they communicated in the same manner? Exactly. This is where we show an example of how to do it differently. What is your vision of the future development of tax cooperation within BRICS? We have passed an important milestone, signing the governance framework agreement. This means we do not just sit together and talk once a year, we have a full-fledged forum. And this is not just a nice word. This means that we work together all the time. We have a secretariat. This year it is Russian, next year Brazil will take over, supporting the deliberations of all BRICS tax working groups. We naturally seek ways to do this as efficiently as possible for the country that is responsible for running BRICS in a particular year. This is the first thing. And the second thing is, we create the technology to do it. In this year, for example, in this year's meetings, the Russian tax administration has presented the BRICS tax services website with the practices sharing platform and more. This website will be handed over to Brazil next year. They will take over running it. So on top of everything else, we make our own technology to enable our own cooperation. My view is, well, I will start with a very high level, bear with me, that building communication at all levels of our tax administrations and, like I said, engaging taxpayers opens the door to a very broad and diverse conversation. At a more specific level, we opened 4 expert working groups. VAT modernization, I have already described. Then there is sourcing and use of data, human resources, and making our everyday processes client-centric. All these topics necessarily include creating strategies, creating concepts, and creating implementation mechanisms. For example, if we talk about being client-centric, we need a general concept of what it means. That doesn't mean, of course, that everyone is expected to implement it in the same way. God forbid, no. This means if we decide we're interested, we go in, okay? Now, a general concept, the enabling technology, and last but not least, feedback from individuals and companies to make sure we always learn, to make sure we hear them, and we listen to them, to our companies, to our taxpayers, which in the BRICS context means all BRICS taxpayers. We need to be in a position to provide services not just for those who want to do business nationally. Our countries are so closely intertwined these days in cultural exchange as well as in goods and services that we need to serve as one of those BRICS, pun intended, that keep us together. Thank you for the interview and best wishes of productive work and making the BRICS Tax Forum a success. Thank you.